It's Friday, July 3rd, and time for your Barbados Today morning news update. There will be no turning back on the decision to liquidate regional carrier LIAT. Outgoing CARICOM Chairman Prime Minister Mia Mottley told today's Conference of Caribbean Community Leaders that it's not an easy decision, but the regional carrier is insolvent with its high debt. On Thursday, Antigua and Barbuda's Prime Minister Gaston Browne pleaded with LIAT shareholder governments not to abandon the carrier and to reconsider their decision. Mottley noted the region has to move on and 6 airlines are already seeking to fill the void.
Since announcements were being made earlier this week about LIAT's demise, that 6 airlines have come forward offering to fill the space. SVG Air and One Caribbean out of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and the chairman, I'm sure, will speak more to that. CAL, which is already an airline known to the region. Inter-Caribbean, which is an airline from the Turks and Caicos and is a successor airline to Air Turks and Caicos and has been around for over 20-something years with an extensive fleet as well. Silver, which we have asked to meet with us over the course of the next few days, and that is an airline out of the United States of America, but working within the Caribbean and between the US and the Caribbean. And of course, the Air Antilles, which is French-based, as you know, and predominantly between Martinique, Guadeloupe, and Paris, but have an interest now in working within the Southern Caribbean. We are satisfied that these 6 airlines can more than fill the immediate gap, particularly given the reduced travel within COVID.
Browne was noticeably absent from today's CARICOM meeting. Since objecting to the closure of LIAT, he has signaled plans to launch LIAT 2020 Limited as its replacement. Mottley, however, urged her counterparts to stick together and call for support for the 6 carriers.
I hope that we will be able to work with them and other private sector players who have also expressed an interest to being able to see how they can work either on their own or with some of the existing players in order to be able to fill the gap, simply because governments have now to use their funds to be able to deal with health expenditure, to be able to deal with water, to be able to deal with other forms of transport, to be able to deal with the fact that our tourism sector as well as our vulnerable populations are all requiring us to hold their hands because they have come to zero revenue. Our unemployment, for the most part in the region, in some instances, it has doubled. In other instances, it has trebled. And therefore, we come to this moment not because there is pleasure in coming to this moment. We come to this moment as a matter of practical reality that governments must focus on keeping their citizens alive. Governments must focus on keeping their economies going. And if that focus can allow others to come on board and to be able to help us carry the weight, well, my people in Barbados would tell you that I live by the mantra, many hands make light work.
The National Insurance Scheme remains healthy and is in a position to meet increased demands for benefits. Word of this from Chairman Ian Gooden-Edgell. With more than a third of the workforce losing their jobs as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, the NIS has paid out over $55 million in claims. Gooden-Edgell was speaking to reporters as he donated examination kits to 75 students who will be sitting the 11+ exam on July 14.
Since the Barbados Labour Party came to office as a government, they pay their contributions in cash and not via paper. And that is a tremendous departure from what we had before. The fund is safe, and the government, in respect of the unemployment fund, if there's any shortfall, the government has already gone on record that they will replenish the unemployment fund. Remember as well that the national insurance consists of multiple funds. You have the unemployment fund, you have the severance fund, you have the catastrophe fund, and you also have the national insurance fund itself. And that national insurance fund alone has over $4 billion investments and so on. So there's no need to worry. We have paid out in excess of $55 million, and we are continuing to pay unemployment benefits. We've also commenced the advance payment on national insurance as well for those, and we are satisfied with the progress.
Over the last 3 weeks, a team from the Ministry of Transport and Works has been laying the groundwork for motorists and pedestrians to have a much safer passage. On Friday, the 2 traffic lights had been fully erected and an island was being constructed to direct traffic approaching from Porter's Main Road. Residents told Barbados Today there have been about 5 road deaths at the junction and they're grateful the work is finally being done.
People in authorities have done it a long time ago too, because some accidents happen there. People get killed there over the years, and still nothing was done with the place. So it is a good thing now that in 2020 that something really happened in Westmoreland.
I proud about it. I'm proud about it. Okay, I can't Barbados or there's I express life and see happen as I will.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
On the regional scene, just 1 month shy of his full 5-year term in office, Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley declared a date for general elections. The day is set for August 10. More in this report from Karen Cozier-Phillips of TTT News.
In what was expected to be the end of the term of the 35th sitting of the 5th session of the 11th Republican Parliament, before the July-August recess, the Prime Minister pulled the election date out of his back pocket.
That I have advised Her Excellency the President to dissolve this Parliament at midnight tonight. That being so, Madam Speaker, as per our Constitution and the arrangements of our acts, nomination day, Madam Speaker, would be Friday. Nomination would be Friday, 17th of July, and polling day would be August 10th, 2020.
On Thursday, the PNM finalized its slate of candidates for all 41 constituencies. The UNC is contesting 39 of the seats and so far has officially named 17 candidates. Watson Duke's Progressive Democratic Patriots has indicated it will contest the 2 Tobago seats, while the Movement for Social Justice has named 4 candidates. The Congress of the People and Michaela Pandey's The Patriotic Front have stated their intent to contest the elections, while Fuad Abubakar, founder of the New National Vision, is to contest the Port of Spain South seat.
Further afield in the UK, businesses including pubs, restaurants, hairdressers and cinemas can reopen from tomorrow, Saturday. And while Prime Minister Boris Johnson says easing the lockdown rules is the biggest step to recovery, the public must act wisely.
I know everyone will be looking forward to the relaxation of national restrictions. As lockdown eases, we should focus on supporting the livelihoods of business owners and their employees up and down the country, all of whom are opening their doors for the first time in more than 3 months. Our goal remains to enable as many people as possible to live their lives as close to normally as possible in a way which is as fair and as safe as possible. And to achieve this, we need to move away from blanket national measures to targeted local measures. So instead of locking down the whole country, we will lock down specific premises or local areas where the virus is spreading.
That's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media and bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.